morning, everyone. My name is Chris Cooper, known as the Channel Guy Trader, and I'm reporting to you live from Wall Street Trading Satellite Office down in sunny South Florida. Today's date is Tuesday, April the 2nd, 2013, and here is today's After the Bell Market Summary brought to you by WallStreetTrading.com. I want to first start off by taking a look to see how the indices closed the session out here for the day. The Dow Jones was up a little over 89 points here, closing the session up 89.16 points. The Nasdaq was up a little over 15.5 points, and the S&P 500 was up a little over 8 points. We take a look at the breadth on the market today. We had 3,318 issues declining on the NYSE, Nasdaq, and the Amex. We had 2,789 issues advancing on the NYSE, Nasdaq, and the Amex. So therefore, breadth was definitely in favor of the bears today. Not much as it was yesterday. Today it's a little over 1-to-1. Yesterday it was close to a 4-to-1, a little slightly over 3-to-1. If you take a look at the action in the market today, we had some good action in the consumer goods sector. Healthcare did pretty well today. The healthcare sector has been on fire lately, especially with now the healthcare plan stocks moving up. The biotechs were in play last week, so that whole sector has been performing pretty well. Some weakness in the industrial sector. We did have that bad number come out yesterday from the ISM. So we did have some nice selling today in the industrials. Another thing to take note of today was that basic material sector was weak. The agriculture stocks got hit. A lot of energy stocks were weak today. So a lot of the money was flowing into the healthcare, consumer goods. Some financial stocks did all right, and some technology stocks did all right. So let's go ahead and jump into these charts here, folks. Starting off with the daily chart of the SPY here. Okay, you can see we broke over these highs that we made earlier in the year here. So we made new highs on the SPY. However, new all-time highs on the SPY is around 157.52. Today we hit a high of 157.21. So we were 31 cents off of hitting that new all-time high on that SPY, the S&P 500 ETF. Pretty interesting, and the Dow made new all-time highs today as well, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so SPY, watch that key level 157.52. Obviously, the next level, if we break above 157.52, got to work off that whole number, which would be 158. As far as support goes, I mean, we're cruising along these little moving averages right here. You had the 20-day moving average. I was holding up pretty nice here. Now you see the price action starting to hold above the 8 EMA and the 5 EMA moving averages. These little shorter, faster time frame moving averages here. So looks like we could start picking up some momentum if we get some more catalyst action in some of these stocks moving to the top side. All right, but so far that is looking pretty good. Let me take a look at the SPX, the actual cash index, to see what the all-time highs on the actual cash index is. And that looks to be around 1577.42. So 1577.42. We're about 6 points away from that and some change there. So a lot of good stuff going on. Let's go ahead and take a look at the triple Qs, the NASDAQ ETF. I also want to make sure I go over the commodities today here because gold got smacked down today, and we'll discuss that more here shortly. But triple Qs, guys, try to break over the 69 level. Again, we were looking at this little range on the triple Qs here between 67.85, call it 68, and 69. If we can get a nice break and hold above 69, our target's going to be up here towards 69.50, 69.75 or so. I've been mentioning the fact that we had this little possible rising bear wedge that was in play. However, it's not in play really until we break below the bottom trend line. And right now, with the market, still showing some nice buying pressure, that looks good. If you guys follow us on Facebook or follow us on the Google Plus, since I know some of you guys out there don't like the whole Facebook thing, so we did get a Google Plus going on. You can find that under Wall Street Trading for the community page. Go check it out. A lot of good stuff there. But late last night, I posted the fact that the ES was trading this nice little range right here between our proprietary channel analysis off of this bear movement that happened yesterday. So this is usually indicative of a move to the downside. All right, because I've seen this pattern so many times form in my channels that I know how to play it. So therefore, this morning around 6 o'clock or 4 o'clock this morning, they started buying the ES up here, and then going to the open, we were all the way up here at 1563 or so, coming all the way from 1556. So a nice little 7-point rally off of those. Obviously, you do not want to buy the ES when it's coming from that from a nice a nice little rally like that from overnight. You really want to wait for a pullback. But another thing that I highlighted was that if we do not get a pullback and we just continue moving higher, that shows you that buyers are giddy. A good pullback would have been a recheck of this little area for this little trend line and then a move up or something. But the fact that buyers came in right in the open shows you people were willing and ready and excited to buy some stocks this morning. We did rally to our next target up here towards the top of the channel. Got rejected. A little trap signal from the wick. You can see the body closed below it. And we had a little early rollover here in the day. And then guess what? Of course, they bought it right back up. And, it's going to be very interesting to see how they take the markets. Really want to see this ES get back above the top of this little channel line right here. All right, which happens to be above 1567.5. So if we're above 1567.5 tomorrow, all right, we'll be looking for some long side action. You can see how and you all can see how we trade it by going to wallstreettrading.com and filling out the form on the right-hand side. I believe I showed you guys how to do that in yesterday's video. Very simple. We'll check it out. A lot of good analysis. Whether you're an options trader, equity trader, futures trader, we have a whole collaborative group of traders in our room that trade all of those asset classes. And pretty soon we'll be doing currency as well. A lot of stuff going on over here, guys. You want to make sure you get involved. So, triple Qs, those are levels to watch. 69, if we hold above 69, look for 69.50, 69.75. If we break today's lows, look for a move towards yesterday's lows around 68.25, 68.30 or so. IWM led the market to the downside today, while the ES and the NASDAQ was holding up. The Russell 2000 was breaking down, and the Russell 2000 was not able to get a bounce like the ES or the triple Qs at the end of the day, but because this thing did get smashed down today, which we'll take a look at here shortly. IWM broke right back below that key 93 level. We closed 21 cents below it. All right, and most likely this thing looks like it wants to hit this 50-day simple moving average and exponential moving average around 91.45. Unless we get back above this 92.70 level. Why is this 92.70 level important? Because this was prior resistance, and it should now act as support. We were consolidating above that support level, and of course, along with consolidation comes people buying and selling in here. But with the whole market being giddy, I'm pretty sure we have a lot of buyers, more than a lot of buyers that are in this little area up here, and therefore, if the market starts to sell and starts to crack, they're going to feel some pain. They're going to start dumping. Some of the people, again, like I was explaining yesterday, some of those people that are still holding, if we sell off a bit, how much pain can they take if we come all the way down here? Are these people up here still going to be holding? No, they're going to be selling. And then people that are looking to get short, they're going to say, oh, the market's starting to go down, and that's what causes that big washout move for a pullback. So we'll see if that plays out. It's looking, it's looking more like a possible scenario in the Russell than any of the other indices. And you can take a look at the volume that's been coming in these past 2 days, and that volume is pretty huge to the downside on the Russell 2000, something we have to take note of. Leaders lead you up, and leaders lead you down as well. All right, so levels to watch. If we hold above 93, we could possibly make a move up towards, say, the middle of today's range. Not expecting a full reversal, wide range bar candle to the top side. If we get some more selling pressure, look for a move down towards 91.45, which coincides with the 50-day exponential moving average and simple moving average. All right, what are we taking a look at now? Let's go ahead and take a look at the dollar futures. All right, and taking a look at the dollar futures got a nice little bounce today. You can see the dollar has been showing some strength, of course, ever since we made these lows down here, ever since we broke above that key 82 level that we were watching from our little supply zone. All right, and we're holding above that key level, 82. One thing you can start to notice, though, is this trend is starting to form like a nice little upward channel. Here, these upward channels are usually indicative of a move lower, but not until they break below and confirm. So I'm actually going to go ahead and draw that little trend line that I see going on right now on the dollar here. All right, and we'll just continue to track this throughout the next couple sessions in the following weeks, of course, to see how this plays out. All right, if the dollar was to roll over, we got to see how these commodities act. Of course, you guys know gold got smacked down today, which we're going to take a look at here shortly. And crude oil had a little pause day today. So dollar futures had a nice little bounce today. We'll track that again tomorrow. Let's take a look at the euro dollar, see how the euro currency finished the session out here for the day. And the euro dollar is not really much. Little pause action day today. Little pullback action day today, and still trading within our little channel that we're watching. So we'll keep you guys up to date with that. Not much to talk about there. So now let's go ahead and talk about this dollar futures. This gold futures, because gold got smacked down today. And if you guys been following the videos, even in the weekend review video, I was like, look, guys, gold is in the middle of the range. I could put this little parallel channel line right here and draw the 50% channel line here. And bulls were trying to hold this control. Again, my whole thing is above the 50% channel. Bulls are in control. Below the 50% channel, bears are in control. And right now, take off the moving averages so you can see the price action a little bit better here. You can clearly see that bears are in control of gold now that we broke down. And we should get some more follow through, because this is a little consolidation right here, guys. All right, this is a little consolidation at an angle here. And I would say as long as we don't break back above this level right here, which coincides with 1587 or so. Let me get you guys a better level here, which coincides with 1586, 1587. We're going to be looking for to short rallies in gold as long as we're below that 1587 level. All right, so gold's looking weak. Target to me is down here, back down towards the bottom of the channel, around 1540. So if you're long gold and you're a long-term holder and you don't, you really want to start making some decisions on what you want to do, because gold may not be what's hot. It has not been what's hot since October of last year. Try to get some people involved here, and now look, they got smacked right back down today pretty hard. All right, of course, you guys out there like to watch the GLD, so let's go and take a look to see how the GLD did today. GLD was down $2.24, just about 1.5%. All right, we gave you guys some targets this past week, again of 152.25, and we hit that all in one day from this big gap down here. So next target to watch on the GLD is going to be down here towards these lows. I would say 150.90, 151 or so is going to be the next target this thing may want to go down. And you can possibly get a little scalp opportunity off this little double bottom down here. As it could, GLD could be establishing a range between 157 and this 151 area. See, buyers are coming in down here. Is that going to happen again? We'll see. But definitely want to watch those levels right there. All right, we take a look at the GDX. Gold miners, they got smacked down today as well, of course, with gold. GDX was down $1.57, down 4.19%. And guys, we've been all over this GDX. If you don't believe us, go back to the archives, watch the videos on our YouTube page, My Wall Street TV, or you could go to wallstreettrading.com and watch the videos in the archive section underneath the My Wall Street tab on the upper right-hand side. But we've been talking about shorting gold ever since our proprietary channel analysis, which I don't have on the screen right now, which I could always put up there, but it's kind of clogs up the charts a bit for those of you guys that know how to read it, so I just leave it off right now. But ever since we were mentioning the fact that this GDX was forming like this little descending triangle, bumping its head against our little proprietary channel analysis and channel line that we had right here, we broke down. We've been telling you guys to get short ever since the 44 level. Had a little consolidation. Remember, we were looking for a rally back up towards 44. Highlighted the fact that if we continue to hold below 44 and we break down out of this little range that form, that shows you that there's a held bid, a held offer right here, and people are trying to sell at 43 because they don't think it's going to go to 44. All right? They want to sell their shirt while it's still in style. Before it gets out of style, they have to sell at a cheaper price. Same kind of scenario here. This gold was hot. GDX was trying to get a bounce right here. It sold off. They didn't think it was going to bounce back up to 44, so they sold it at 43. Broke down below 42, sold off, and now try to say this a little rally here. For the past 3 weeks, it's been grinding higher, but boom, rolled back over today. This thing looks like it wants to go down towards 32.53. If I bring over the monthly and weekly chart here real quick, you can see the real support level on the GDX is not down here till 32.53, which on the monthly time frame comes from this action that we had back here in April of 2009. Take a look at the weekly chart. Weekly chart is breaking back below this key trend line that I've been tracking here. And again, 32.53 is the level that you want to watch. How about that silver? All right, silver was trying to show some strength earlier in the year to gold when the precious metals were trying to bounce, and then then it started showing relative weakness because gold was trying to cruise up and silver was just trading sideways in a range. And this is another thing that we talked about in the week in review video, folks. We had one, two, three, four confirmation closes, and now we have five confirmation closes. We had this little range between 28.50 and 27.50 that I wasn't trying to break out of. So silver moving to the downside. Yesterday we had this little indecision candlestick that I highlighted, and today we got the follow through, and we got that volume picking up. Looks like there's more silver sellers to come. Silver surfers surfing to the big wave per se. Any case, let's take a look at crude oil now via the USO real quick. See what the USO did today, and then I'll take a look at crude oil futures. I usually do that first. Crude oil, gapped down a little bit, then was able to recover. Well, actually gapped down. Closed yesterday at 34.69. Gapped down today at 34.40. Gapped down 29 cents. Was able to rally back. Nothing much there. This thing is pretty much just consolidating. We take a look at the crude oil futures. We can probably get a better picture of what's really going on. This morning, crude oil was trying to hold up, but then it started selling a bit, and I never went back to look at it. So let's see how it closed there. All right, so crude oil had some selling pressure today. Closed off of its lows. Hey, guys, this is one thing you want to watch. If the dollar starts to roll back over and these commodities catch a bid, you want to be watching this crude oil if it breaks over 98. All right? And, again, we'll keep you guys posted, up to date with that right there. So let's go ahead and talk about some stocks now. Again, if taking a look at Apple. All right, Apple got downgraded by Goldman Sachs, and of course, most of the rookie traders, I'd say, probably try to short Apple this morning. And if you take a look at the 5-minute chart, you will see what it did. Squeezed them right out because they're probably saying, hey, let's go short Apple because Goldman Sachs downgraded it, and of course, while Goldman Sachs should have been downgraded all the way back here at 700. Which I'm not sure if they did or not because I've been following up with Apple as far as the downgrades and upgrades go through this whole process of the decline. But I did tell you guys one thing, not to buy it up here at 460 after it came all the way from 420, and now we're going all the way back to 420, which is going to be a double bottom in play, which I expect us to try to break below it and maybe chop around a bit and see what happens from there. But Apple, weak today. Amazon tried to get a bounce today, but I believe it started getting some selling pressure once the market started selling around 1 o'clock. Was still able to close up $1.71, up 0.65%. Little inside action of yesterday's wide range bar expansion candle. We'll continue to gauge this one and see how it plays out. Let me see how IBM traded today. Let's see how this IBM did today real quick here. All right. Again, the biotech stocks have been in play. The healthcare sector has been in play. That's where a lot of the money is going. For the past couple weeks here. So, all right, IBM, nice little update. Looks like it wants to go towards 216. I would definitely keep this one on your radar. Casinos were weak today. LVS got smacked down hard today. Wynn got smacked down today, then was able to close back positive. Retail stocks did all right. I mean, some of the leaders on the board today here that did pretty well. I mean, you had DEC up 2.5%. You had Google up a little close to 1.5%. Lulu up 1.5%. Priceline had a nice little move up today. So some of these big cap stocks are still looking pretty decent. Again, I'm not really worried about the market too much, except for the fact that the leader index, which is the Russell 2000, is starting to show us some relative weakness compared to the other indices. Which, if it let us up, again, it could lead us right back down. One sector that got hit today that I want to touch base on because one of my Facebook friends wanted me to go over it is the coal sector. All right, these stocks have been trying to bounce, but they have not had any luck at all. And WLT is just getting smacked down here. Had some nice selling pressure going on today here. And, I don't know. This company has been getting takeover bids and chatters and this and that. And just looks like something is fundamentally wrong with this company because it's going down. I mean, how far is it going to go before somebody really wants to buy it, or do they not really want to buy it? So we'll see. But WLT looks weak. You definitely want to stay away from the coal stocks right now. BTU had some takeover chatter in that name as well, like about 2 weeks ago. And this one looks like it wants to go right back lower. It was able to close below this little lower pivot right here, below 20. And looks like the next level of support is until down around 1878. You take a look at one of the other coal stocks that have been trying to catch some speed and show some relative strength to its peers, CNX. Even CNX got hit today here, down. Well, actually, it was off the lows, but you can see it's been getting hit here. This is actually the only coal stock that looks like it's trying to hold up here. That looks like they may have better fundamentals than some of the other companies that are selling off. Right. Real quick touch upon the banks. Goldman Sachs Little pause action today. Not much going on in that name. J.P. Morgan was showing a little bit of relative strength, but little pause action, little bounce here. Looks like Goldman Sachs may be developing in a range between 149 and 144.88. Of course, if we have a sell day tomorrow, this could break down. If we have an update tomorrow, this thing could possibly do a little stupid breakout. Who knows? The ES was pretty resilient today, which, we have to keep an eye on these banks since the banks were the sector that led us up as well. All right, we take a look at JP Morgan real quick here, then I'm going to end the video. Take a look at JP Morgan. And JP Morgan got a nice little bounce off of that little support area around 47.76. So that looks pretty good. And you know what? Let me take a look at Bank of America. Can't leave Bank of America out there on its own without looking at its technicals here. And Bank of America needs to get back about 12.50 or so to really get me looking for a move up here. Right now, it looks like it's still fading off of these highs. And you have all this little gap action. You have a gap right here that could be filled. You have a gap down here that could be filled. So looks like it needs to pull back some more before it tries to find some buyers. We do have some nice support around 12. So we'll see how that plays out. So in any case, folks, have a great night. If you're watching the Heat game against the Knicks and you're a trader out of New York, you know who I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for Miami Heat, baby. And again, I'll catch you guys bright and early tomorrow. Make sure you check out the chat room, mywallstreettv.com. Now, to get access to mywallstreettv.com, you got to go to wallstreettrading.com, fill out the form on the right-hand side for the 14-day free trial, and you'll be greeted by me there in the morning at 8:30. Make sure you eat some good breakfast, and let's kick it off on the right foot. Take it easy, guys. Cheers.